Hello and welcome to the Reselling Report for today, Monday, April 20th, 2020. I'm your host, Ann Eckhart, and every weekday morning I upload the Reselling Report here to YouTube to update you on the day's retail and e-commerce news, including the latest from eBay, Amazon, Etsy, Mercari, and Poshmark. If you haven't done so already, I hope you'll subscribe. And now let's get on with today's show. Well, happy Monday. I hope everyone had a good weekend. I feel like it's bad to say, hey, did you have a great weekend? Because if you're not quarantined at home, then that means you're likely out on the front lines. And I personally really feel for anybody who is deemed an essential worker and who is out there keeping our country going, whether it's in healthcare or at the grocery store, delivery folks, truckers. There are a lot of people who are out there risking their lives to keep our country going. And I'm so grateful if that is you or someone in your family. Thank you so much. Thank you doesn't seem like much, but right now all I can say is thank you. We see you. We appreciate you. If you are quarantined at home, hopefully you are safe and healthy and getting by, not leaving your house unless it's absolutely necessary. Are you wearing a face mask out in public? Now, they do recommend, the CDC, that you do wear a face mask when you're out in public. Not every place is enforcing it. I don't think most places are enforcing it other than New York, California. But let me know if you are wearing a face mask when you venture out. I actually found some on Amazon. They're not the medical grade ones. They're just more of a disposable type. They do have 3 layers, but I know a lot of people are wearing the fabric masks and everything that can be washed, but I wanted something that was a little lighter and that I could just throw away, just because I'm super paranoid about the virus and I'd rather just wear it, throw it away, be done with it, not have it in the house, wash, all that stuff. That's just me. But yeah, let me know if you are wearing a mask. So let's start the week off with a little drama, shall we? And guess where the drama originated on? Instagram, where all the good reseller drama lives, is over on Instagram. So over the weekend, it got out that a reseller, posted on Instagram that she had found a couple of Lululemon items at a Goodwill. They were in horrible shape, and she sent them into Lululemon, and they gave her back $300 and I believe $50 for the damaged items. So this reseller was posting about it and bragging about it on Instagram that she had gotten these items super cheap and then sent them to Lululemon, who gave her money back. Now, Lululemon does have a pretty lenient return policy. Usually, though you need to have a receipt, but this was apparently part of them replacing items or refunding money for items that did not last their lifetime quality commitment. Basically, they say we've created these items, and if they don't last past what is a normal lifetime of use, then you can apparently get money back. This is something that some retailers do offer. Tupperware is a famous one, and I've seen this before. People go to the thrift stores and they buy junky Tupperware, and then they would file a claim with Tupperware that they wanted new items back. This is not something I endorse at all. I personally think it is immoral, unethical to abuse a company's return policy and going out and getting things at a thrift store and then sending them into a company to give you money back is, in my opinion, not the right thing to do. Another reseller shared this original poster's post because this wasn't somebody that I followed. So that's how I became aware of it. And then it spread. I actually did repost it on my Instagram because I personally feel it's important to get the word out that this is not ethical behavior. Whether you're a reseller or not, going into places, buying things, whether you're buying them secondhand or on clearance or whatever, and then trying to return them to get money back is not right. So this has definitely exploded on Instagram. Some people are defending the original poster. You should be kind. You don't know what the person's going through. And then the other side, which I'm on the other side, is no, stealing is stealing. It's immoral, it's unethical. No, you have to stand up and say, no, this isn't okay, because one person does it and then it's a snowball effect. And Lululemon, like most retailers, is struggling right now. They're most stores are closed. They continue to pay employees. They are struggling. And to put up a post during this time that you had gotten some crappy items from Goodwill and then you got Lululemon to give you money for them, that doesn't sit right with me. But let me know your opinion. Do you think it's okay to go to Goodwill or anywhere, buy items, and then try to get the company or the retailer they're originally from to give you money back or replace the items with new items? Leave your comments below. I am in the no, it's not okay, but you are free to leave your opinions in the comments section below the video. Turning now to the reselling sites themselves, we're going to start with eBay today. eBay has put up a post over on the community section of their website. This post is titled, USPS extends delivery estimates by 1 day. There is no action needed from you. According to this post, USPS announced changes to their service standards, adding 1 day to most first-class package and priority mail transit times. We will be updating our estimated delivery times where needed to accurately reflect this change by USPS. Throughout the COVID pandemic, we have maintained steady communication with the United States Post Office and will continue to use all information to display reliable delivery information to your buyers. Please keep working hard to meet your handling times and remember that you have pickup and drop-off options. If you cannot get to the local post office, you can schedule a home pickup with USPS. The USPS pickup service is free as long as it's during the hours of regular mail delivery. You need to schedule pickups 1 day in advance and by 2 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Saturday. Please note there is no action required of you, and we will continue to protect your selling performance during this unprecedented time. In addition, if your delivery is late due to these updated USPS delivery estimates, your late shipments will not count when we are able to see that an item was shipped within the handling time you set. As always, it's important that we deliver the best possible buyer experience, and we will continue to update our delivery estimates to ensure your buyers are satisfied. So stick to your regular handling times. I ship within 2 business days, although I almost always ship the next day. But make sure you're sticking to your handling times, and sounds like eBay will take care of the rest. It's funny that it's, 1 day extension for first class and priority mail. I don't know. Amazon is about 2 weeks behind on shipping for a lot of things. I also went online to Sam's Club, which I normally go to Sam's Club almost once a week. I wanted to see what they had available for delivery, and they did have some things with shipping almost 2 weeks out. Normally when I ship from Sam's Club, it usually comes the next day because I think they just send it from the local club. But I ordered, I think, 7 different items. They're all shipping separately, and each one has a different delivery estimate. So I think that's the most important thing to do if you are looking for essentials from the online sites, that you look at least 2 weeks out. Like I said, with Sam's Club, everything's coming at a different time, but I'm glad I went on when I did, because while I have the things we need now, within, a couple weeks, it's going to start thinking like, well, maybe I need to get more of XYZ. So think ahead about 2 weeks with your online delivery options. I think anything that prevents you from having to go out to the store is good. So if you can order it online, definitely do so. And for those of us who sell online with a little longer shipping from the post office, thankfully eBay is backing us up on that. Now, I know a lot of people get worried about carrier pickup. I've always used carrier pickup, always. Like, it's rare I ever go to the post office for my packages. What I do is I go on the night before, I put in a request online, and then I have a place where I put the packages and a note where they're going to be. All my carriers know about it. But even if I get a substitute, there's a note telling them what to do. I've never had any issues. Usually they scan them right then and there, so they're immediately in the system. I know I hear people say, they have terrible carriers and whatnot, but if you've never tried it, give it a try. It's really easy. Once you have a great carrier who gets your packages, you will never want to go to the post office again. Sticking with eBay, according to an article on hyperbeast.com, eBay reveals special release of Michael Jordan collectibles. eBay is doing something special just in time to coincide with the awaited drop of ESPN's Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls documentary, The Last Dance. The docuseries explores the final 1997-98 season of the iconic team, which resulted in the organization's last and MJ's 6th and final championship. For the timely rollout, eBay just launched a special landing page for all things Michael Jordan, specifically collectibles and memorabilia related to his airness. One of the biggest draws for sneakerheads is the auction platform's weekly event commemorating 35 years of Nike Air Jordans. Lasting up until May 15th, a special sneaker drop will be announced through the company's social media account. Unfortunately, for those trying to grab the recently released Air Jordan 6 DMPS, those are now sold out. But if you're in the market for other covetable J's, there's still the restock of the Air Jordan 1 Court Purples for $170 on April 24th, and the Air Jordan 3 UNC for $190 coming the 8th of May. Other collectibles such as the usual jerseys, shorts, caps, hats, toy figures, and more are available now too. Some are even autographed with full authentication. If you're itching to get a few goods now while the Jordan Bulls fever spikes, you can get them through eBay's special MJ Hub. So clearly this is also a good time to be listing your Michael Jordan items because eBay has an entire dedicated section to it. And it appears that, I'm just looking through here. Yeah, it's all sellers. It's not like eBay is selling this stuff. So if you have Michael Jordan items, Chicago Bull items, which usually sell really well anyway, but yeah, dig those babies out. This is going to be a really good week, coming weeks here to get those items sold as they're being featured heavily over on eBay. Turning now to Amazon, for those of you who sell FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon, according to an article on e-commerce Pite's blog, good news and bad news for Amazon FBA sellers. Hampered from sending items to Amazon fulfillment centers to sell through the FBA program? The good news is Amazon said it continues to ease restrictions on what it will accept after clamping down in mid-March on non-essential goods due to the coronavirus outbreak. The bad news? Amazon is limiting the quantity of those products it will allow sellers to send. On Saturday, Amazon informed sellers, beginning April 18th, 2020, more products are eligible for shipment creation. We continue to focus on ensuring our ability to fulfill the highest priority products the customers need at this time. While a broader set of products can now be sent to our fulfillment centers, we are limiting the quantity you can send for some of these products. Here's how to check to see which products and how many you can send according to today's announcement. You can see products that are eligible for shipment creation in the Restock inventory page and the Restock report. Products that are eligible and have quantity limits will be marked with a limited red stock flag. So if you're familiar with Amazon, I'm sure you're already familiar with the back end of it, how to get into your seller area and see what you can fulfill and what you cannot. But if you are an Amazon seller, let me know. Are you now able to send in more products, or are the items you sell still being limited? It sounds like due to quantity restrictions. So even if you could send it in normally, if they already have enough in the warehouses, they're not letting you. But let me know what your experience is below. We've been talking a lot on the show about what is selling particularly well right now on all the reselling sites. An article over on Mashable.com says that from face masks to sourdough starters, Etsy sellers have your back. Temporarily out of stock, currently unavailable. In stock on, insert far off date here. If you've pursued the site of just about any big retailer within the past few weeks, chances are you've been greeted with one of those alerts after clicking on a listing. That's because sites like Amazon are struggling to keep up with demand amid increases in order volume and worker absences due to the coronavirus pandemic, according to the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. Things have reportedly gotten so dire that Amazon is trying to get customers to buy less from its site, going so far as to cancel its Mother's Day promotions, bury its popular Deals of the Day page, and run fewer ads on Google. It's a very different story over on Etsy. Sellers on the online marketplace, who usually feature handmade and vintage goods, are trying to fill the shopping hole left by Amazon and other major retailers, where items are either sold out or estimated shipping dates stretch for weeks. If you can't get it elsewhere, someone on Etsy probably has it. And then they are showing listings of sourdough starters and flour for your homemade bread? Check. Plants and seeds for your garden? Check. Hand sanitizer? Check. Face masks? Double check. Etsy and Mercari have put out calls for sellers to make masks, and so face masks is a big current offering over on Etsy. The article goes on to say, ever since the U.S. Centers for Disease Control recommended on April 3rd that people wear cloth masks in public, handmade face masks have become a piping hot commodity on Etsy. In an email to Mashable, a company representative says buyers search for face masks on the site an average of 9 times per second over the weekend on April 4th through April 6th. And face mask was the most frequently searched term on its site within the past 2 weeks. That's just crazy. If you're a sewer and you can get those homemade face masks made, they're definitely a market. You can also sell these on eBay as well. So if you don't want to sell on Etsy, you can sell them on eBay. I know they're selling on Mercari. I don't know about Poshmark. I would assume it would fall under clothing and beauty on Poshmark, but yeah, definitely Etsy, eBay, Mercari for these homemade masks. Or if you have sourdough starters, flour, plants, and seeds, those things are also being shopped for heavily now too. Over on Poshmark, there's a new post on the Posh Life by Poshmark blog entitled Level Up Live Inventory Management. It says, we're back with week 2 of our brand new series, Level Up Live on YouTube. This week, we spoke with Poshers Becky Park, El Ducho, and Poshing with Mona on how they manage their inventory and what systems work for them. From organization tips to processing inventory and utilizing Poshmark tools, check out the highlights below. There's a little profile with some of the interview questions for each of these sellers, and then you can actually watch or listen to the interview on the blog page. So, of course, no Denali over El Ducho Thrift, so it's exciting to see her. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on over at Poshmark. Their blog has been updated. And finally today, according to an article on CNBC.com entitled, As Coronavirus Restrictions Drag On, Americans Shift Online Spending from Stockpiling to Entertainment, there's starting to be a shift in what people are buying online. Of course, we know they've been stocking up on needs, so groceries, health and beauty, pet supplies, baby products, all those things. But this article says the next wave, beyond basics. Things come and go in waves, and it can be rumor driven. When people hear stories about there being a shortage on something they think they need, they will stockpile, which of course we've seen the panic buying during the beginning of the virus outbreak. Of course, toilet paper is the most familiar example. But according to this article, also at this stage in the pandemic, some people have started to focus on a different set of needs. This article is quoting experts saying, it went from people trying to stock up and maybe buying a little bit more than they need to understanding that things are okay. I can move beyond the basics of food and shelter. A closer look at the shopping data illustrates this shift. Comparing the first half of March, before stay-at-home orders were issued in the U.S., to the first half of April, many of the items showing the largest growth in dollars spent go beyond the essentials. Despite being a fraction of the overall share of spend, there was a whopping 777 increase in book purchases, followed by 182% growth in the toys and game category and 131% growth among sports and outdoor items. Home improvement at 71% and health and beauty at 38%. Products followed close behind. Meanwhile, spending on grocery items and cleaning supplies appears to have tapered off. The grocery category, for example, increased at only a 25% clip in the first half of April, compared with a growth of more than 100% year over year. At the same time, many Americans have fallen on hard times financially and may be limiting their purchases of discretionary items, as more than 22 million people have filed for unemployment over the course of the COVID-19 crisis. But those who can afford it appear to be reaching beyond the basics of groceries and household items in an effort to find ways to pass the time in quarantine, a phenomenon they expect to continue in the coming weeks and months. There's sort of a trend towards self-improvement and using this time constructively. Book sales increase, games and puzzles, and we have seen health and beauty start to grow as well, especially when you look at it year-over-year basis. That's one the article suggests to keep an eye on, the self-improvement phase. And that is a wrap on today's show. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave me your questions and comments. Also, check out the show notes below the video for links to the articles I referenced. Thanks so much for listening. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.